What's up, YouTubers? This is your boy Darius, better known as Hey Kid 05. This video is for all the wrestling fans. I really don't want to step on any toes, but I have to tell y'all the truth. As a former diehard wrestling fan myself, I used to watch WWE all the time. Now, I don't watch it anymore. I haven't watched it in over 3 years. I don't know what's happening now. I'm getting told by people about what's happening. They're sending me emails like, hey, this is happening. They're putting on my Facebook, such and such is happening. And to tell the truth, I really don't care. I started paying attention to some of the storylines that McMahon came out with, and I'm beginning to notice that a lot of the storylines he came out with are the same ones that he had over years ago. I'm really beginning to realize that wrestling has become complacent. It really has. It's not making any more sense. It is the same rendition that it was 5 to 10 years ago. It's not the whole, wrestling thing that it used to be years ago when we used to see people like Stone Cold Steve Austin with long hair. When we used to see people like Shawn Michaels wrestle back in the day. It has lost all of its grand luster that it has. McMahon is doing nothing but coming up with the same storylines he had years ago that he's been using for the past years. I'm being told that The Rock was the host of WrestleMania. A host to WrestleMania? Are you serious? Come on now. Nobody wants a host to WrestleMania. I mean, I thought that he was supposed to be the host. That McMahon was supposed to be the host for WrestleMania. Now he's not. He's getting other people to do it for him. This invisible Raw general manager that is staying hidden is supposed to be a laptop. How is that original? How is that cool? A laptop? Oh, Michael Cole now is a heel. He gone against Jerry the King Lawler. You're turning the announcers into wrestlers? Come on now, you can't do that, man. Jerry the King Lawler can't hold his own against. Jerry the King Lawler can hold his own against, the likes of Michael Cole. Michael Cole, really? And he got Jack Swagger to help him. No. After everyone told me what currently was going on in the WWE, it only made me realize more and more how the WWE cannot come up with an original idea anymore. The writers need to be fired and they need to get a whole new board. They gave The Miz the World Heavyweight Championship. That's what I was told. If not, okay, I might be wrong. I'm not sure. But one thing for sure that I do notice is wrestling is now become completely and utterly plain. It has. You can do nothing but bring back a lot of these old wrestlers and try to make them seem cool again, and they can't. They can't. Putting the likes of The Rock against John Cena. Really? The Rock is completely different from John Cena. John Cena is completely different from The Rock. John Cena is supposed to be like somebody else. Granted, they gave John Cena the 5-knuckle shuffle, which is nothing more than just a rendition of the people's elbow. I just have grown angry at the fact that now we've come to this point in wrestling where where McMahon can only do the same storyline over and over again. I would like to know what happened with Chavo Guerrero. There's this new wrestler supposed to be coming out. He's supposed to be just like Rey Mysterio. I don't know how you're gonna have a wrestler come out that's just like Rey Mysterio. I don't know if it's Chavo or somebody, but I don't know who this new guy is. Maybe you guys can tell me. But I mean, I have grown apart from the WWE now. I've begun to realize that wrestling has become completely and utterly saturated with old ideas. None of them are new. None of them are original. There's nothing worth watching in wrestling anymore. Undertaker, a prime example of an idea that is the same idea that has been used years and years and years, for years and years and years. Undertaker versus Triple H. I was told at WrestleMania that Undertaker went against Triple H and the Undertaker won. Well, that seems to me like something that happened years ago when Undertaker went against Triple H, and that fight was Anywhere Falls match, and Undertaker gave Triple H the tombstone while he was near one of the camera stands. So I'm only saying this to all the wrestling fans. Take a look at what McMahon has done to our sport, to the sport that we love, and take a look at how he's commercialized it and only made it nothing more than just a freaking sideshow. That's exactly what it is. He's turned wrestling into a sideshow. Granted, it's called World Wrestling Entertainment, and that word entertainment means to put on what people like to see. But what we like to see are things other than what McMahon is putting on right now. And he's not putting on anything worth watching. So, I'm only saying this for all the wrestling fans. If we want McMahon to finally realize that, hey, guess what? What I'm doing so far is wrong, you need to stop watching it. You seriously need to stop watching it. I can't tell you what to do. Hey, I'm just another person behind the camera. I can't tell you what to do. But what I can tell you is the fact that McMahon is destroying wrestling. He is. The previous WrestleMania, most of the good matches were held either in no contest, it was either held in a disqualification, or it was held in a draw. And when in WrestleMania do you have a draw, a no contest match, and a disqualification? When? Since when? You can't tell me of a WrestleMania where there were several matches that went undecided. Another thing that has pissed me off is the fact that they're calling this new Tough Enough show out a original reality show. It's not. You had Tough Enough out back then. You was doing Tough Enough on SmackDown and on Raw. Now all of a sudden it's an original reality show. So you finally decide to take Tough Enough and make it into a reality show. Then it's not original because you already had that same name and you already had the same thing that those people are in there doing, trying to get a wrestling contract. And what happened to most of these Tough Enough winners? They only are given like what, a year to a 2-year contract, and then after that they just drop off the face of the earth? Really? I haven't seen what happened to Maven. What happened to people like, what happened to Ashley? She used to do wrestling. I don't know what she's doing now. What is she doing? Nothing but starring in a bunch of, being on the cover of Playboy magazine? Granted, I can say I enjoy looking at Playboy with her in it, but seriously, I can really care less. So, I'm only saying this to help you guys. Seriously, we need to have our voices heard by McMahon. And the only way we can do that is by not watching it. Vince McMahon has taken the sport of wrestling and has completely destroyed it by turning it into something commercialized. Something with a bunch of freaking endorsements and stuff like that. Take a look at the NFL. The NFL is a prime example of a sport that keeps the same thing that it has been using for years going. And look how far it took it. Now in the NFL, there may no longer be a season. Do you not want there to be a WWE anymore? So I'm just asking you, seriously, stop watching wrestling. If you're gonna watch, don't even watch TNA. TNA is another example of a company gone completely haywire itself. It has become commercialized, just like WWE. I can no longer get my love of wrestling out from WWE anymore, because it has done the same thing over and over again. When it started to let the cruiserweights and light heavyweights go for world heavyweight championship titles that are in the heavyweight division, that's when I knew that I had to stop watching wrestling. Because nowhere should Rey Mysterio hold the title. Nowhere should the likes of, a light heavyweight like Shawn Michaels even be in contention for the title. If you can do flips, you shouldn't be able to go for the title. So I'm just asking you guys, seriously, let wrestling go.